I don't want to call it a shitty week of NFL games. It's not. There's never a shitty week, but we just had a really, really fun week in the NFL. Two kind of fun weeks in the NFL, and there's not a lot of great games. I'm just gonna say, just right off. If you're looking at the paper, I got 4 games on here, and then I was just at a loss for Ricks versus Gricks this week, and wound up with 2 more games that I just had to look at the lines to see what's on here. And there hasn't been a lot of crazy news, but there's just been enough, and I think enough in sports and in life in general too, that we could do a very cliche sports media kind of segment. And that is winners and losers. So, let's give in. We try to be different here at the 323 Network, and we're pretty successful with it. People enjoy it, but sometimes you got to get a little cliche. You have to get a little stereotypical, and we are 3 stereotypes here hosting this show right now. So we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it with you, and that was pretty smooth to look around like that in the middle. You little Oreo filling there. We're
easy. Hey, Halloween idea for 2025. You guys are each an Oreo cookie, and I'll just be like cream filling. We just get in the middle.
We just hug all night.
You can do more than just hug all night, man.
Hey, let's get to these winners.
We can open up for people to lick you.
I'm not saying no.
Let me get this back on track here before it gets any spicier. We're gonna do just straight up cliches. I want you guys to give me a winner and a loser from the past week. It can be football. I don't care if it's just in other sports in general or just anything. It could be life. It could be media. It could be entertainment, culture, who knows, politics, whatever. I just want a winner and a loser from the past week. I'm going to throw it to Scott first to give me a winner and a loser, just to put him on the spot and see what he can, throw out there. See if we can do this cliche.
Listen, I'm already prepared. Like you said, we're going to go very chalk with this segment, winner and loser. And thankfully, you made it super duper broad, and it could be literally anything. So for me, when I saw the show doc drop and I sat there, I consulted myself. I consulted my Lord and Savior, Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
And I really just internalized this question of who is the biggest winner and the biggest loser of the week. And I'm going to start with the loser. The biggest loser this week is me, because I went 1-5 in Rick last week, and I am just having a shamble of a season right now in Ricks versus Gricks. But I digress. My biggest winner of this week is also me, because for all the naysayers out there, for the people who like to poo-poo on my picks all the time, well, guess what? Guess who won money on Monday Night Football of the Texans and the Cowboys? Me. I won my 6 pick
didn't know
parlay.
it until you woke up the next morning.
Yes.
That's the best. Isn't that the best bet? That's the best wake up.
Just open up my FanDuel. You see money just in your account. Like, oh, I hit. It was a Joe Mixon anytime touchdown, CJ 200 passing yards plus, Mixon 70 plus rushing yards, Nico 50 plus receiving yards, CD Lamb 40 plus, and Tank Dell 40 plus, and they all hit.
Winning.
How did we feel about that game? How do we feel about both teams? Because I'm a little perplexed by both. I'm perplexed at how the Cowboys are this much of a train wreck, and I'm also not fully believing in the Texans.
The Texans, to me, they're benefiting off their division, in my opinion. I mean, there's three teams that you could easily sweep all year long, and they've just been really quiet. I think a lot of it has to do with like injuries that have happened. Like you had Nico go down, and then you had Stephon go down, and now Nico's back, and then Joe Mixon's the most boring yet most productive running back in the league. And then the Cowboys are just run by the Crypt Keeper and the shit show himself. And I also noticed that, they might not want to put the curtains up for football games, but I sure as shit saw they put the curtains up for the Tyson-Jake Paul fight.
They needed it up when Tyson's ass just completely flashed all of us on live TV. If your Netflix wasn't buffering at that moment in time.
Oh, mine was buffering. I just
Or are
turned
you
it off.
happy it was buffering?
Oh yeah.
The greatest meme that I saw come out of that little interaction was, it said what my DoorDash delivery driver sees when he drops off my Chinese food.
I can't get over the one that has the Dallas Stars on each cheek.
But yeah, biggest loser for me is me, and biggest winner for me is me, because all of it is about me.
Because Scott said so.
Because Scott said so.
Zoo,
now you get it.
Zoo, who was your winner and your loser for this week?
All right, I got a couple of hybrids for you. So the hybrid, yes, there's
Mixed
a hybrid.
breeds, okay.
Yeah,
We
I like
are
it. Hey,
we are winners of last week because of how much the Bears are losers.
aha!
The fact that they just keep losing on final drives. And the fact that the way I found out was the Packers posting on Twitter winning with just the tip was incredible.
Wait,
That's hilarious.
We'll give it to them for.
It's just hysterical every week. I don't understand how you have this many weapons and you just can't get an offense going. It's incredible. Winner for last week was me, because I got to go to Vegas for the real estate photography conference that happens once a year, and I got to meet a lot of my idols, and I got to learn so much, and I'm just super excited about how business is going to go next year. So that was a big win for me. But on the hybrid side, it was a loss. I was a loser as well, because I did not look at the Capitals schedule before going. I've been saying I wanted to watch the Capitals play in Vegas. Did not know that Ovechkin would be getting a hat trick the day after I leave Vegas. So I am a loser for not checking the schedule and staying longer.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the most selfish segment I think we have ever done. This is
I mixed it in. There's sport in there too.
You did mix it in, but
I got hockey in there.
I've loved that our winners and our losers are me, Bears. I want to make myself a winner or a loser, but I'm just I'm always winning. I can't. I mean, look at us. Look at
Rick versus Rick says otherwise.
Get him, Jay.
I'm gonna lose so bad this week because I talk shit.
My winners and my winner and my loser. My winner's a little unorthodox, honestly, because they lost this week by all senses and purposes. But my winner is actually the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ew.
They lost their first game of the season. And I think they're a winner for getting the undefeated monkey off their back and, just kind of getting over that hump. There's a lot of pressure when you're undefeated. They were getting closer and closer. They're 9-0 there. And now they lose to the Bills. They lose to the Bills in an exciting and close way. And it's annoying because now they get this motivating chip on their shoulder. It might be the slightest of a chip. It's more like a pebble that you can put on a 2-time reigning Super Bowl champion's shoulder. But they have a chip on their shoulder. And they're going to use this as motivation going into the playoffs. They're going to, keep throwing this shit on like a board in the locker room about how, the Bills are better than them. People like the 323 network move the Bills above them on their power rankings, and the Chiefs are sitting at 3 now on ours. So now they're going to be able to turn this loss probably into a third consecutive Super Bowl win. So, yay. We're all losers for it. But my other loser actually ties a little bit to Zoo, where it's the losers of the week are Bears fans. And I love it. I not only say this, and apologies to BVK, he won enough because BVK threw in that Bo Nix take that almost hit to perfection. He predicted 5 touchdowns from Bo Nix last week. He got 4. And then he did 4 and 2 in his picks on Ricks versus Gricks. So, he won enough, but it cost the Bears. The Bears, they got a potentially game-winning field goal blocked against the Packers, and it would have meant nothing for them. in the long run, but it would have been nice for, Bears and the Bears fans for a week to beat the Packers like that and, maybe cripple their postseason hopes a little bit. But no, it didn't happen. And I think what actually makes it worse for Bears fans is the success of Jim Harbaugh. And watching Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers just invigorate everything. His energy is insane. He's so much fun in the press conferences. He is lit. It's damn near an HR situation that he's having with Justin Herbert in terms of giving that man confidence and calling him Beast Herbert. He's catching his passes in the pregame warm-ups and shit. He's been so awesome for the Chargers, and the Chargers actually look like a legit threat. And it's not even, I wouldn't even say because of the offense necessarily. The offense is good. Herbert is probably playing the best he has his entire career, and it's with almost no-name receivers. Joshua Palmer, Quentin Johnson, Will Dissly at tight end. I don't even know who's at running back. I think it's J.K. Dobbins. But their defense also looks fucking awesome. You think of Harbaugh as like an offense quarterback kind of guru since he was a quarterback and did so much with Kaepernick and Alex Smith in his time with the Niners. But his defenses are insane. He showed that at Michigan. And he loves that kind of ground and pound shit, and it's working for the Chargers. The Bears could have had him. I fully believe the Bears could have had him. He played for Chicago. He was reportedly interested in the Bears. If they were going to have an opening, the fans were all in on getting Jim Harbaugh. And what did they do? The Bears opted to go with another season of Matt Eberflus.
But he had a beard.
He had
convincing this time.
He had a beard, and this is like, it's one of the worst defeats of beards, I think, in the history of bearddom, is Matt Eberflus growing that beard, and it looked damn good on him. But I think it looked too good. That might be the problem. You can't have the beard look too good and still win. It's not going to work. You have to have like kind of a shaggy, shitty looking beard. And honey. And it will then, and then it'll work out for him. Bears are a fucking mess. And I feel really bad. I don't really feel bad for their fans, but I feel bad for like Caleb Williams, who's, in this situation where it's going to be really hit or miss. Like they might ruin him. They legit might ruin him. And maybe he should have thought about that rumor that was happening back during the college football season last year that he might try to opt out of the draft depending on if the team is like the Bears at number 1.
Which I'm surprised you don't see happen more.
Well, we're getting to a Sanders draft. So it's very possible. I mean, I could see Dion, quietly, privately telling some teams like, hey,
don't even waste your time.
We're not coming here. So don't even think about it.
Well, it's not even for just Shador either. It's for Travis Hunter. Like he's going to be Travis Hunter's like spokesperson to make sure that he gets to be at a situation that's suitable for success.
And then there's all the rumors of like Dion's going to coach wherever Shador goes. So
would Dion to the Cowboys be the funniest outcome for this?
That's another thing that I've been hearing is that can Jerry Jones handle having a head coach that's a bigger name than he is?
I you know what? And I've thought about this, and I'm glad we're talking about it because I can't see Jerry hiring Belichick. I could not see that working. I couldn't see it working for either. The only reason I think it could work for Dion, at least for a little bit, is because Dion played there. He's famous as a Dallas Cowboy. And I think Jerry would love to just like keep showing off, like, look what I bred here in Dallas.
Right. Dusting off the relics off the shelf.
Right.
At the end of the day, like he's a businessman. He's gonna do the best thing for the Dallas Cowboys to make money. And what better selling point would you have as a Cowboys owner to have one of your golden children head coach your team? Oh, and his son is the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then what would make it even better? I hate that this is in my division that I'm making this joke, but if they ended up at the Giants.
Oh. Oof. I
Shador playing Jerry Jones team every year.
It was in my bold.
He's so funny.
It was in my bold predictions at the start as Shador Sanders to the Giants. I hope that happens instead of Travis Hunter to the Giants. I would much rather. Can we talk about the Giants for a second? because they weren't in our winners and
Have to.
losers. I think we have to bring up the Daniel Jones situation because it's irritated me a little bit on his behalf. Like, I understand the Giants, they bench Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, their quarterback. They go ahead and bench him. He's had a terrible season. The Giants have had a terrible season altogether. But they don't just bench him. They make him third string. And then, on top of that insult, which they bench him not really just because of play, but also because if he is to get injured during this season, it could trigger a $20 million guarantee payout that the Giants have to give him next offseason. If they keep him healthy, they could cut him and save a certain amount of money, at that point in time. So they bench him pretty much for financial reasons, put him at third string, and then go out, have the
like Russ.
Whoa, the GM made a smart move?
have the gall. Well, he counters the smart move by signing up from the practice squad Tim Boyle, one of the worst quarterbacks I have ever seen play
God.
football. Not just pro football, college football. Scott, I want you to look up Tim Boyle's college football stats, his college career stats, and relay how bad that is and how he made it possibly to the NFL. They bring up Tim Boyle, make Tim Boyle the third string quarterback, and Daniel Jones is not only the fourth string quarterback.
Oh, ew.
But Thursday at practice, they had Daniel Jones as the scout team safety.
How is he even on a roster?
Tell me give me Tim Boyle's stats.
He went to UConn, 3 years at UConn. Freshman year, 5 games, 44% completion rating, no touchdowns, 8 picks. It's like
Wasn't he the one that had the huge win for the Jets after Zach Wilson went out a couple of years ago?
No, he's the one that it was the Black Friday game, I think, last year where he came in. Everybody was excited for him because they were like, oh, we have to get better than what Zach Wilson's putting out.
It can't get worse.
And he threw one of the worst Hail Marys, one of the worst situational Hail Marys I've ever seen, where it just gets completely returned for a touchdown. I think they called it the Hail Mary.
The rest of his his career, sophomore season, 9 games, 52% completion rating, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. So you getting some traction. All right, that's a big improvement. And then junior year, in 10 games, 51% completion rating, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And Zoo, you're a football guy. You know things about stats and figures and how much people should or should not be able to pass for in a season. If you're a quarterback, how many yards, give or take, do you think you should be able to pass for in 24 total games?
I don't know if I could do 4 yards.
More than 1,200? More than 1,200, probably.
If I could average 4 a play, I'd be happy.
Right. So in 24 games, he passed 100. He had 133 completions for 1,200 yards, 1 touchdown, and 13 picks.
Holy shit.
I'm fairly confident I could go out there with that same stat line. Am I going to get on an NFL team?
I think how Pat McAfee has Aaron Rodgers on every Tuesday. Because we're not at the level of a Pat McAfee show, I think we should be aiming to have Tim Boyle on every week. I think Tim Boyle is the quarterback this show deserves. That we should go for Tim Boyle every week. If we can't get Tim Boyle, who the fuck can? We could get Tim Boyle.
Yeah,
Trevor
Siemian, maybe.
I like Trevor Siemian. Questionable name he has there.